Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. We are back up here at Defender Ranch. We are out here just before a class with Billy Barton and Jared Clausen. They will be instructing a pistol class and it's going to be a good time. But we are out here on one of the bays where they have some stages set up. So we will run through some of these stages and see what they're like, see how we do, and let the Grand Master kind of critique us and coach us a little bit.
It's gonna be a good time. This is, of course, the fire we have set up, guys. It's designed to not only be a good test of speed, accuracy, transitions, and movement, but also like kind of a more complex problem-solving exercise, right? We're trying to stay shooting the whole time. How do we be as efficient as possible while collecting all the points that are available on the stage? Kind of the rules for a stage like this are very, very simple. The start position is gonna be right here, toes on marks, standing outside the shooting area. Wrist below belt, wherever you want your hands is fine. On the start signal, get inside the shooting area and get two on all the paper, one on all the steel. Obviously it's Comstock, so if you shoot a mic or a no shoot or whatever, you can definitely make that up. Shoot as many rounds as you want. There are 30 rounds on the stage. When you walk this thing, just make sure you know where 30 rounds worth of targets are, where you're gonna shoot them from inside the shooting area, where you're gonna reload, that kind of thing, and we'll run it and we'll see how it goes, and then we'll kind of talk about maybe some kind of hacks to be more efficient on a stage like this.
So I guess I will start. Like Billy said, there are a lot of targets, so expect me to maybe miss a target or two. And just overall shoot poorly, but we'll give it a go. Run in from concealment, as we tend to do here.
Are you ready?
Ready.
Stand by. Nice run, 22.98. 22,
A little overwhelming.
Yeah. A lot of things to think about, a lot of taxation and kind of the mental bandwidth, right?
Yeah.
All that kind of good stuff. Cool.
Yep.
As we're scoring, guys, basically all I need to know is your pacing is how many non-alphas were shot. So don't need to, if it's two alpha, don't need to really know that. Just kind of keep a tally of how many Charlies, Deltas, Mikes, etc. you paced. Okay, so for those who aren't familiar, we're using a scoring system for this called hit factor. This is one of the better metrics I think we have right now in terms of figuring out ways to balance speed and accuracy. Essentially the way this works is, on your normal target, if you shoot an alpha, that's 5 points, Charlie's 3 points, Delta is 1 point, a Mike is actually a negative 10 points penalty. We stack up all the points you collect at the end of the stage, and it's your points divided by your time to get a hit factor, which is essentially points per second. How many points per second did you just score? So in that first run, we have 5 Charlies and unfortunately 1 Mike with a time of 22.98. That gives us a hit factor of 5.43. New hit factor to beat, fellas. So also, we didn't mention the no shoots because we didn't get any yet. A no shoot would also be just a 10-point penalty. Basically, a Mike or a no shoot's all kind of scored the same, which is a 10-point penalty.
But if you make up a no shoot,
still a 10-point penalty.
but then you get the 5 points, whatever, for making it up.
Correct. So if it's a Mike and a no shoot, that's actually 25 points because you get a penalty for the Mike, a penalty for the no shoot, and you didn't get your 5 points for the alpha. So it's really about your 25 points down if you get a Mike no shoot.
That's my realm. That's where I live.
Are you ready?
I'm ready.
Stand by.
Oh no!
Oh sh! If you're finished, let's check. All right, range is clear times 33.38. I was hoping you were gonna remember that one. Got me worried there for a second.
What happened was
what had happened was
I didn't even know about this middle steel right here until Aaron went.
oh my god.
So it changed my whole game plan that I had really locked down.
Sure.
So that was out. So I
Yeah.
just switched that one for that one.
Yep. Makes sense. Makes sense. Yeah, if you try to change plans like that on the fly, it can get sticky for sure. 150 minus 16 divided by 33.28 is 4.026. Are you ready?
Yep.
Stand by.
Oh.
Nice, finished. Holster back up. Range is clear, 2281. Jack's $600 2011 gave up the ghost halfway through the first run, so we're redoing it. But we're not gonna roast him about it at all, not even a little bit.
Roast me in the comments.
So the redo, which really is cheating, but as long as I beat it, we're still gonna give it to him. 2281, clean, all alphas, 657 is the new hit factor to beat.
Yeah.
Are you ready?
Ready.
Stand by.
Oh my gosh.
You're finished.
I had to do so many makeups.
Range is clear, still at 2662. Not bad at all, 2662.
How many Charlies?
One Charlie, but so many makeups, it's slow because of that. Partially because of that. I also run slow. Have you watched me run? It's a joke.
148 divided by 2662 is 555.
Triple nickel.
Are you ready? Stand by. Decent. I'll give that a decent.
What we got?
1742.
Cool.
So just over 5 seconds faster than the next fastest.
First of all, like I think when people hear that, right, and a lot of people see the scores of that on the stage, we'll score it and talk about it in a second, but what do people immediately assume that difference is? You gotta shoot faster. What were the splits?
So best split was a 15, but
okay. So there was one. I try not to do that on purpose when I'm demoing the stage.
Yeah, a lot of them are like 30s to 75s.
Yeah. So like
what I noticed,
very reasonable.
Yeah, what I noticed immediately, and you I'm sure did too in the video, is he's shooting like he's not just getting into a set position and shooting 5 targets. He's always moving, and so I think if you can make those hits while you're like moving between different points in the stage, like you can shave off a lot of time right
100%.
there.
Yeah, we'll talk about how to do that in a second. Let's finish scoring and we'll talk about it. 138 divided by 1742 is a 792.
So a big thing that's apparent here is speed and accuracy are both important. So
Both important.
you can sacrifice if you need to a little bit of accuracy, and making up speed could potentially put you better in that stage.
Yeah, you know, I think it's one of the really cool things about hit factor. Like I talk about this in class. It's like come up with some example like okay, what's better, whether it's self-defense, it's competition or whatever. Like what's better, 2 rounds right here in 2 seconds, or 2 rounds like that in a second and a half? And it's like, well, it's subjective, right? Like who knows? But obviously speed's important and accuracy is important, so we need some kind of a metric when we're training to like experiment with different techniques in terms of like, okay, if I shoot this target on the move, it's gonna save me some time, but I may risk a Charlie or 2, and we need some metric to help show us like, okay, where's that threshold where I start, actually it's not worth it to shoot on the move, I should actually post up and shoot this target more carefully, and other times it's not, right? So some kind of scoreable metric that shows you that is super helpful. You guys already kind of talked about this a little bit. Obviously, like the big difference in time there is not splits. I mean, maybe you can gain a few hundredths here and there, but you're not gonna gain 5 seconds worth of splits. If I can kind of boil down the idea of stage planning into the simplest, idea possible, it's spend the least amount of time not shooting. That's it. I wanna stay harvesting points the entire time as much as possible and shrink the gaps down. So as an example, when I have a situation like this on the stage, we'll talk about some different plans that you guys did, but when I've got a situation like I have to go over here and shoot these targets, and then there's like nothing for me to do while I run across the back, that should like bother you in here, and you're trying to think like, how do I shrink that down as much as possible? So like a simple idea. As I come over here, which target do you think I should shoot first? Okay, by far the most logical answer and the most common one. Here's the problem though, especially from concealment, right? I've got to get into the shooting area before I can shoot, and I've got to get the gun out by the time I can shoot. So the question is, by the time I get in here, is one of them actually available before the other? Or are they both available by the time I can shoot? They're kind of both available, right? If I shoot that left one first, does that give me any other options that can make me more efficient here?
Backing up.
Now I can back out on that one, right? Whether I'm shooting it really quick, you know, on something like this, and it's really just like a hip shift where I can be more explosive coming across the back, or whether I can actually, you know, take a step or two while I'm shooting that one. That's gonna make me be able to start shooting again that much sooner, just by like a really simple switch right there, right?
Yeah.
So that's the kind of stuff we're gonna be looking for on the stage. Let's kind of maybe take a step back and talk about the general plans. So first thing you gotta figure out on a stage is like, what are the force positions? Where are the spots I have to go to on the stage?
Basically, each corner.
Gotta go over there to get those, basically. Gotta go over there to get this one.
I mean, you do have to get the middle somewhere, whether it's from the back or the front, to get that steel that's hidden.
So a couple
you can, could you see that in the
Yeah.
Right through those barrels.
Yep. So it's super cool to me that some of you guys noticed that already. Like the way most people think about it when they walk the stage is they'll like come across the front, you know, and they see that steel, and it's like, oh, well, I have to get here. Like X marks the spot where I have to shoot that steel from. And it's not that. It's a zone that goes all the way back right to the start position. So if that's one of my highest risk factor spots on the stage in terms of like I'm very likely to like overrun that or underrun that, be hunting for that window to find that steel, do I at least want to be aware of the option to just step in and shoot it off the start? Yeah, I want to at least be aware that that's an option. So I can have the option of shooting it from like 10 yards closer. So that's pretty compelling, right? But also, if I come off of there, you know, again, instead of stepping in as I draw and like covering ground while I draw to get to that deep target to allow me to back out, if I step in right here, right, that's gonna be a second half maybe-ish from concealment, something like that, of time on the clock where I'm not accomplishing anything. I shoot, let's say I hit it the first time. Now I got options here, so I probably am gonna have to shoot my way in, end up in here deep, and now I've got more ground to cover coming across the back, right? That's the main reason I decided not to do that, just to shoot it from up front, so I could be a little bit more efficient here in the back. So we kind of know the force position on the stage we have to go to. Obviously, I'm gonna try to figure out the most efficient flow through those positions. I think everyone kind of picked the same one here. I pretty much agree. Coming in here, coming around.
I went first, so Aaron's the smartest guy here, so
yeah.
Obviously we'll follow him.
Welcome to my world. That's why I didn't walk it up a lot in the beginning, or I tried not to, so everyone wouldn't like steal the plan. Just kind of go through it real quick. So obviously I'm coming through here. I've got an interesting array over here. Which target do you think I should come in on first?
Same scenario, isn't it?
Well, not really, because now there is definitely one available first.
Yeah.
So I probably want to take that one on the left first, right? And then work into the deep one. So how do I know where to start shooting that left target? Because it's available from all the way back here. Should I shoot it from here? No, why? I'm gonna have to post up and shoot, and I'm gonna have to post up again, right?
Yeah, you gotta
So how
get
do I
there
know
already.
where to start shooting that one?
Maybe just before you can see the targets to the right. So as you're coming in, it's like a more natural transition, and then you're kind of already facing where the next spot you need to get to.
Yep, the easiest way I like to define that is what I call reverse planning. It's kind of like you're coming out to class this morning, like how'd you know what time to set your alarm? Well, I want to be at class at 9 o'clock. I want to get there a half hour early. It takes me a half hour to get there. I want to stop at QT on the way. Like it takes me an hour to get a shower and all that kind of, okay, I'm setting my alarm at such and such time. So if I know where I want to end up, which is on the fault line closest to the partial, and I do it backwards, that'll give me an idea of how much time it takes to work through that array and where I can actually start shooting. So if I start on the head box as an example, I can probably lean back out on the bottom one a little bit. So it's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Somewhere like right in there is probably where I want to start shooting that target. So now when I come off of this one, I can break down a little bit, get the gun up a step or two early, start shooting 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Timing worked out pretty good. Reverse planning, the simplest way that I've found, like with kind of a really specific articulable plan to figure out like where to start shooting on an array like that as I come through. I think pretty much everyone cut straight across. You didn't allow the fault lines to like pull you back through here, which is really good. What target should I come in on up here? I know a lot of us did this very differently. What target should I come in on up here?
I went with the steel.
Yep.
And so I could just get all four kind of left to right, but I don't know if that's the correct way.
I noticed you came in on the angled one.
Yep.
And then worked your way back to the left while you were backing out. Kind of like coming in and moving out all in one fluid motion.
So what's that do for me?
Let you cover
time.
ground.
Gets me closer to the next shooting position, right? To shrink any lag between those two. Now, some of you guys, based upon capacity and stuff, you know, had to shoot this array and then reload while moving into the next array. So maybe it wouldn't make as much of a difference for you. But if I'm able to shoot that whole front array, you know, kind of on one magazine, you know, I like, obviously the furthest one to the right as I come in here is that deep one, but it's in a very specific spot. Like if I don't get my foot in the exact right spot, I'm not gonna be set up properly to shoot that target. So I kind of use the close one, you know, before I even get both feet in the shooting area, just as I'm stepping in to set up for the far one. I can then kind of move on the open paper. If I need to set up, depending on the difficulty of the steel, I can. And then I'm set up to transition directly into these without ever stopping shooting, straight into the steel, back out on the paper, and then shoot these if I didn't shoot them from the back. So again, the whole goal is just to stay shooting the whole entire time without ever having to stop. Is kind of what I'm searching for.
All right, guys, thanks for watching this video today. Let us know in the comments down below if you want to see more shooting and more stages and USPSA type stuff like this. Be sure to check out Billy Barton on Instagram, and we'll link his page below. It's spectrain _NC. NC.
Yeah, that's me.
Yep. There's some other stuff I was going to say, but yeah, check out Defender Ranch if you are coming out this weekend. This video will be long after that class already happened, so that was a pointless statement. You take it from here, Billy. Like, share, subscribe, tell your friends about Tier 1 Concealed and about Defender Ranch, and we will catch you next time.